Hello friends, now we are going to see the flow of consent as per the Indian Contract Act 1872. This is the very good chart given in my book, which I would like to present and explain all of you. After going all through this chart, you will come to know each and every point about the free consent chapter, free consent topic of the Indian Contract Act, and it is helpful in further chapter as well. So this is very important video. I would like to give brief description. I'll give brief discuss this description about all of this coercion, undue influence, misrepresentation as well, so that the concept there will be the clarity in the concept for you all, the viewers, right? So we are going to this flow of consent graph, and we are seeing what are its characteristics, how what are the flow chart, how it happens, and what are its advantage, what are its functionalities, right? So first is coercion. Section 15 of the Indian Contract Act deals with coercion. Coercion is basically nothing but in forcefully getting anyone's consent with the you can say without having their that person's will, forcefully getting consent of any person, for example, by showing a gun or any arms to that particular person, and asks them to sign in that particular any particular agreements, then it becomes coercion. Section 15, and this includes Indian penal section as well. So this is overall description about coercion in the Indian Contract Act. Now, undue influence. What section 16 deals with the undue influence. This all are the free consent chart given in Indian Contract Act, which is very goodly explained in my this book. So undue influence is being described in section 16 of the Indian Contract Act. What does this means? Undue influence, in name in itself explains that influencing by any person without any due. For example, if the son force son asks his father that father that give him cycle, otherwise he will not eat food, for that for he will not eat food, then the father is under the undue influence of his son, so as to give him the cycle in order to influence him, right? This is the undue influence, the overall description as per the section 16 of the Indian Contract Act. Now, misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is further divided into two parts. One is fraudulent and another is innocent or unintentional. This section 17, fraudulent, basically means that the seller who is selling that particular goods is doing fraud. For example, he knows that this product has these disadvantages or these flaws in his product, but then also he escapes from the buyer. Then also he escapes the same from the buyers by unintentionally by intentionally escaping from the buyers, so as to unlawfully or illegally gain some amount of monetary benefit, financial incentives, right? So this becomes fraudulent. But in the same time, at the same time, if he also does not know about that particular technical error or any you can say he is also not aware of the consequences of that particular product, then it becomes unintentional. He has not that particular person has not intention to fraud that particular buyer, right? So this become unintentional misrepresentation. This become fraudulent misrepresentation. Section 18 deals with unintentional misrepresentation, right? Now next is mistake. Mistake further is divided into two parts: mistake of law and mistake of fact. This two has further divisions. Mistake of law has two divisions: mistake of law of own country or mistake of law and of a foreign country, right? What does this section 71 of Indian Contract Act says basically is the mistake of law might be of the own country or mistake of law might be a foreign country. This has to be tackled by both the parties, and this has to be avoided, and this should be made aware while they are making the contracts and agreements, right? This is overall section 21 says. Now section 20 tells about the mistake of fact. Mistake of fact is further divided into two parts: bilateral mistake, unilateral mistake. Bilateral mistake means mistakes from the both parts. Both parties have indulged in the same mistake, right? And unilateral mistake means mistake has been done by one particular party. So bilateral mistake is further divided into two parts: mistake as to subject matter and mistake as to possibility of performance. As here the name suggests, mistake as to subject matter. This means that the subject has been mistake has been occurred in the subject matters. For example, existence. For example, if they have make a contract on the object which is not exists, so this become existence mistake. That particular product is not existing at the time of making contract. Then also they have made this particular contract in order to get in future endeavors, right? So this become subject matter to subject matters, mistake of subject matters. Another is identity. Identity mistake is basically a mistake of the particular name, you can say. This is basically identity mistakes of that particular for example, this becomes you can say this is mistake of error. This is same like you can say mistake of fact, which we factual error in which the both are parties are not aware about that particular items, that its identity, what is that particular product's identity, right? Quality mistake. There might be quality mistakes while making the contract. Quantity as well, same you can understand. Title mistake, this you can relate with this identity mistake as well. This is somehow both are related, right? Now price mistake is very important. While we come into any contract or agreement, we shall focus on the price part. So both parties shall more willfully and more very awarely get into price negotiation and sit in the contract negotiation table, right? This is the price mistake, which says that there might be price mistake on the side of both parties side, and this has to be resolved by both the parties equally, or it might be resolved in the as per the suit which is occurred if there is any dispute in the agreement by the courts, right? Now this is mistake so as to possibility of performance, physical possibility, legal impossibility. This what does this part says? This part says that while coming to that particular contract, whether that particular performance can be performed or not. This is physical impossibility or legal. This performance is further divided into two parts. One is physical impossibility and another is legal impossibility.